I got a couple of important updates I want to share with you all. One is, if you've been following this channel, you know that I've gone on a bunch of photo walks over the last couple of months. East Coast, West Coast, and even my first international in Amsterdam just a couple of weeks ago. They have been so much fun. They are completely free. We just wander around, take some photos, chat, talk about photography, talk about our lives, and I've really enjoyed all of them. We've got 2 more scheduled for this year. One is coming up very soon in Cologne, Germany. This will be with Scott. He's going to be covering all of Photokina for us here at photorec.tv, and you can join him on September 23rd at 7 p.m. There's a link right down below for the details of exactly where to meet and what you might be doing on the photo walk. Now, there is another chance to join both Scott and I in London on October 11th, also at 7 p.m. This is going to be a lot of fun. As I said, this will only be my second international photo walk. I'm very excited about it. The other ones have been a lot of fun. I hope you'll join us. Now, if most of you are anything like I have been in the past, a little shy at times. You might think, hey, that's kind of weird. You run a YouTube channel, really. Are you a little shy? I am. And I would probably be unlikely to go on a photo walk thinking I'm going to say something that makes myself look stupid photography-wise, or I just won't know anybody and it will be awkward. And I just want to tell you that you should still come. They are a lot of fun. We have people of all abilities there, and I love working with people of all abilities. If you watch my channel, you know how I speak, how I teach. That's how I am in real life too, surprisingly. And I want you to join us. I want to meet you. I want to go to these cool places I've never been before. I'm glad that Scott will be joining us in London. Of course, he is a resident, and we'll be sharing some kind of tips and tricks for photographing in the city. And of course, we'll visit some iconic locations and photograph those. Should be a lot of fun. I hope you join us. The link and details for that is right down below as well. Now, while I've got your attention and I'm sharing things with you, I can't quite articulate this well enough to make a full video about it yet, but I want to talk about focus. And I don't mean that in the punny sense or autofocus on a camera. I mean focusing on what you're doing. Again, if you've been following along fairly closely, you know that I'm kind of in the process of moving to the West Coast. I mean, I personally have moved. My stuff arrives in a few more days still. And as part of that move, I took a road trip across the country from the East Coast of the United States to the West Coast just last week. Or a week and a half ago now. I made some pictures I'm really proud of on that trip, and I'm trying to figure out exactly why. One, I put myself in beautiful locations. That was part of the goal of driving across the country, is you got to move your car across the country, might as well stop at some of the prettier locations and take some pictures. So that was a lot of fun. But just above and beyond that, I'm really happy with the pictures I made, and when I think about it, I think it's because I was really focusing on just making pictures. Now, some of this doesn't apply to everybody, but oftentimes when I'm shooting, I am trying out a new camera or a new lens, or I'm wondering how this old camera or old lens is going to compare to a new camera or a new lens, or I have a drone with me and I'm thinking about where would be a good shot to get some drone footage, or I'm also shooting video and I'm thinking about what shots I should get for video for the channel, for vlogs that I create, and all of that thought process takes away a little bit from being able to focus on what I want to do. And I'm not saying that in the thing I want to change anything. I'm just saying that when I want to make good pictures, having to think about those other things, at least for me, are distractions. And so on this trip, I just had the camera I've been shooting with now for over a year, the Sony a7R II. I just had my 2 standard lenses, 24 to 70, 70 to 200, and that was it. That's all I had. Now, I recognize that's a pretty sweet setup that a lot of people would be very excited to have. That's not the point. Don't get caught up on the gear. The point is, this was gear that I was extremely comfortable with working with at this point, and I wasn't thinking about video. I wasn't thinking about drones. I was just thinking about making photos. So again, hi, you can come on by. Okay. Thanks. Sorry about that. I tried to pick a quieter path. Do you mind if the tripod stays? Can you make it by that okay? Oh, yeah. Okay, it is blocking the path. I'm sorry. What are you filming? A little update for a channel I run on YouTube. Oh, nice. Yeah. Fun. Well, thanks. Have a nice afternoon. Thank you. You too. So if you find yourself struggling to make the pictures that you want, remove as many distractions as possible and focus on what you want to achieve. A little bit of pep talk. I'm still working on it because I haven't quite figured out the best way to say that, but I think that's good for now. And the last thing that I want to say is I've got a fun poll running right now. I happen to have the Canon 5D Mark IV, of course the 24-70 I just mentioned. I've got the Sony a7R II and its Sony 24-70. I've got a poll. I wonder which one you would rather walk out the door with. There are so many different variables that I want to discuss in that, but for right now we're keeping it very simple. Which one would you rather have? There's a link to answer that poll right down below. And all of the specs of the two cameras. What's the cost? What's that final weight of both body and lens? What's things like battery life? And you can let me know in the comments if you wish as well. But really, I want you to go answer that poll. And I'll be giving you my, we'll call it an early review, because I've only been shooting with the 5D Mark IV now for a couple of days. But I'll be bringing you a longer extended review in the coming weeks. If you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, you can let me know right down below. And you know what I know people are going to do? They're going to say where I should or shouldn't do a photo walk in the future. Just know that these places where these photo walks are happening is because I'm already traveling there. I'd love to be rich enough where someone says, hey, you should do a photo walk in Dallas, Texas. And I'd be like, I'm on my way. But I can't afford that yet. But I do hope to have more of these photo walks because they are absolutely a blast. And I hope you'll join us. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.